welcome back to the Martini Works podcast. We're here with Gels,
Hello.
myself, Dakota, and a very special guest.
Ooh, special.
Yep.
Austin Perush.
Austin, how you doing, man?
I'm well.
Well, thank you so much for coming on over here and hanging out with us. Do you want to explain a little bit to the audience who you are, what you do?
Yeah. Like I said, my name is Austin. I'm a car builder. I'm a metal fabricator. You could call me a coach builder, perhaps.
Yeah.
I'm also the founder of Motivator Coffee. We're working on a project together, so
Yeah.
we're getting into some stuff today.
Absolutely. Do you want to explain a little bit what like a coach-built car is?
Yeah. So, before we had stamping equipment and massive factories, all cars were built by hand, right? You're talking from just after the stagecoach days, well into the 60s, at least in Europe. A lot of American cars had switched over earlier, but if you're talking 50s, 60s European cars, yet a lot of that stuff was hand built. There's some transitional periods where they were maybe hand assembled, mechanically stamped kind of things, depending on the era. But so coach built cars are basically hand built cars built by humans.
That's insane. That's so much work to me. Like I modify cars and I get pissed off and throw wrenches. I can't imagine building one entirely. Like how do you even
want to
get
talk about a build?
Yeah, for real. Yeah. Official built, not bought.
I started with a sheet of metal.
Okay. So that's the thing. It's stack of tubes, pile a flat sheet. Let's turn it into a car.
Insane.
So crazy.
Can I do that? I can do that. It's just a matter of time and
How do you
money.
get into something like that? Like, is that like a family heritage thing? Is it something you self-taught?
It's
Is it
not. So I, my family's entrepreneurial, and my mom's an artist. So I kind of went the art way initially. I went to college for sculpture.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then you can kind of see how that blended once I got into the automotive trade.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I went through a restoration program, they're like, okay, you're good at that. So they stuck me in I got kind of an apprentice program at a Rolls-Royce restoration shop out in Ohio. That's
Old
cool stuff.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Talking late 1800s, early 1900s brass era Rolls-Royce.
Dang.
That's crazy.
And I mean, that stuff, a lot of that was the body structure was made out of wood.
Yeah.
Wrapped in aluminum most of the time. Tons of brass fittings and lamps, kerosene, headlights,
That's
they
so
got
cool.
a wick in them.
Yeah, wow.
Weird stuff like that. So, I learned some cool stuff there. And then, from Wisconsin, I wanted to come back. My now wife, we were dating long distance, and that was kind of a thing. So, came back to Wisconsin and got a job at Motion Products.
Okay.
Here in town, you guys probably know that.
Yep.
They do Ferrari restorations,
Oh, yeah.
and that's where I got the majority of my skill set.
Nice.
Is just kind of getting thrown to the wolves, working with the the older guys that work there.
Yeah.
And then I went out on my own. So
Awesome.
I mean, that's sort of the gist. It's just a lot of time with the cars, a lot of time with the tools.
Yeah.
I've gotten into restorations and rebuilds and stuff where I personally had over 2,000 hours in the project.
Oh my gosh.
And that was just one of a few guys in the fab shop. So
Holy
That's so crazy.
Like-
And what kind of cars were you working on?
mostly we're talking 50s and 60s Ferraris. There was some other Italian marks in there. I think a few Porsches and stuff. But when I was at that organization, it was mostly Ferrari, and we're talking everything from little 50s race cars to short wheelbases, a couple GTOs,
Dang.
and then some of the street cars too, the GTEs, 330s, 400s.
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
It's so
Kind
crazy.
of across the board. There's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, that's so crazy. You think Wisconsin, there's not much that goes on up there, and you got guys like Austin just
Oh man,
putting in thousands of hours and resurrecting 50s Ferraris.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
It is what are the majority of projects that are coming in for restoration? Like, what are you doing? Is it accidents that happen? They need replacement parts, or what is it?
So a lot of times they're just old cars.
Okay.
There were cars that got crashed. There were cars that would be out at like events like Goodwood or whatever that hit the wall or, get T-boned in an intersection or something. So there was stuff where it's to pull it out, straighten it out, remake some components. A lot of it was this been just sitting someplace in a barn, in a
Barn
garage, in a field in like Argentina somewhere.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like all kinds of stuff. And it wasn't so much a crash shop. It was, some of them were older restorations too.
Gotcha.
Right? People
it's
didn't
just-
put the time and money back in the 80s
Sure.
into they didn't have the crazy, multi-million-dollar price tags that they do now. So.
Absolutely. Is it ever, did you have to turn away any cars? Is there ever, like, they're too far gone?
I mean, I personally have in my business, I can't speak for, the Ferrari shop, but there were times when I was just like, man, like, I know you love this car. I know you drove it in high school and like you made out in the back seat, like, cool. It's not.
She's cooked.
Yeah. Like, we can do it,
Yeah.
but, there's not going to be any car left.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have done a couple of those. I mean, I've rebodied Camaros,
Sure.
top to bottom, inside out, where the only thing left were those like two inner structure sides.
Right.
Cowls,
Enough to
cowls
keep the
new,
VIN.
firewalls new, full floors. Yeah, enough to keep the VIN. So, it kind of depended on the customer. There's some stuff I just was like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that is
believe
just
it.
so crazy. Like,
So.
I would imagine a lot of rust repair stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially being in the Midwest. And, a lot of vintage cars did not have the rust prevention.
Right.
They had thicker metal.
Sure.
Which is nice.
So it took a little longer to go
18
through.
or 19 gauge metal as opposed to like 20, 24 gauge on modern cars. So, yeah, there's been a lot of that. I'm trying to move away from that in
Sure.
terms of my like, building.
Yeah.
Kind of trying to do clean new stuff.
Yeah.
these
And what
days.
what does that entail?
So I've got customer that I'm going to be building some bodies for.
Sure.
I don't know if I can get into it or not, but
Yeah.
we'll just say it's a Wisconsin-based. Whoa!
There's some big thunder. It's
Pardon
storming. by
the thunderstorm. Added some dramatic effect.
Don't know if I can say who it is.
Yeah. All right, I take that as a sign.
All right, building cars for Batman, I guess.
But long story short, they have a limited production run of some like vintage indie
Cool.
special kind
Okay.
of cars. So
That's super cool.
going to be doing some stuff for them. I'm still doing some, restoration stuff, hot rod
Yeah.
stuff, whatever.
You kind of want to get more into like the custom
Yeah,
side of things.
yeah, and to be honest, I kind of got really burned out on it for a while.
Oh, I can
I've
imagine.
been doing it for 15 years.
Putting that many hours in, yeah. I believe
Well,
it.
it takes some of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I've
imagine.
worked with people that say like, every one of these cars take a little bit of your soul with it
Sure.
I can
when it
imagine.
leaves, and especially when you're giving it thousands of hours,
Right.
or at the minimum hundreds of hours.
Yeah.
So, yeah, did that answer your question?
Yeah,
I think
absolutely. Yeah.
my brain trailed off.
No, that's fine. Man. That's what podcast is for, just yapping. Did you ever have any restoration jobs that you're like, it's impossible, but you were able to save it and do it?
I've never said it's impossible. No, and in fact, I'm more inclined to take on a job that's super challenging
Yeah.
because I'm more challenged by it.
Props to you.
Like if it's just replacing a quarter panel on a 68 Mustang, it's kind of like not really into that.
Gotcha.
Sure.
Been there, requires very little. Well, I shouldn't say that. Requires some skill, but it's just not what I look
Yeah.
to develop.
It's just a job at that
Yeah,
point.
it's once you figure it out, it's just work.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you like the more like creative aspect
I do.
of what you
I really do. I like creating things. I like solving problems. I like building things. The work is part of work, but you can't avoid it. But so that's sort of where I'm at these days.
Is there any misconceptions people have about high-end restoration or building cars?
Oh man, maybe. Yeah, like what would somebody's conceptions of it be? Like,
Maybe price,
Oh.
time frames,
gosh,
Yeah.
stuff
well,
like
it's
that.
according to television,
Yeah.
it takes 2 weeks.
Yeah, YouTube and television's kind
Yeah.
of ruined restoration. That's for sure.
And Bad Chad is a great craftsman. No, yeah, those are things
For
Like,
sure.
It's super expensive. It's super time intensive,
Yeah.
and when we're billing by the hour, that can be problematic.
Yeah,
How
100%.
do you? I mean, you guys put stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys itemized every hour on it,
Oh, it'd be insane.
and we're charging customers, like, oh, you
Yeah, it
know.
adds up real quick,
So-
especially when your time is involved like that and the amount of time it takes. There's no quick way really about it.
No, there's not, and you can't tell. You're pulling the heads off a motor and 6 of the studs snap off
Right.
in the block. You're like, okay, well that's a week.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a couple.
That's
you
gonna
know.
set us back. So there's so many ways things can go totally sideways.
Yeah.
It takes a long time. It takes a huge team too. Honestly, it takes a team of really good people.
Oh, 100%.
So it's not just one person. It's
Right.
a group.
I was gonna say, like, how does that like kind of work get split up? Like, I imagine like you're looking at a car or something, right, and it needs like a ton of stuff done to it. Is it like person like takes a corner, or like someone's responsible for this part, or
It's usually clustered by group.
Sure.
I mean, if it's a well organized shop with a good crew, someone's going to take it apart. Someone's going to itemize the problems. Someone's going to sort out the parts,
sure,
and the car's going to get totally stripped. Paint removal, whatever process they go through for that, off to the fab shop for repairs. And in that point, sometimes it's like one guy works on a car, does the whole thing. We usually worked in pairs.
Okay.
There's a guy working on, 2 guys working on the car, kind of working around each other. That way it doesn't get too monotonous,
Right.
right? And we would also typically have somebody that kind of specialized in doing the real trinkety trim stuff.
Sure.
Right. So figure a few guys in the fab shop, then off to the paint shop, and then God knows how many guys you got to have to get it out on time. And,
Yeah. So it's more of like a step process. Like
Yeah.
this person's responsible for this step. It
Yep.
goes to this person. This person.
Yeah.
Got it.
At a high level, you need to have experts doing everything.
Right.
You know.
Ideally. Yeah.
If you're restoring an MG in your garage, you can do the whole thing.
Yeah.
But when you're at like a Concours level show event, everybody's got to be on point.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
You mentioned, you're working on Ferraris, Rolls-Royce, these high-end cars, one-off cars. Is there any notable movie cars or celebrities that you can mention that you've done stuff for?
So
It's not too many Joe Schmoes bringing those in, I feel like.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. So I have worked on numerous celebrities' cars in both the Ferrari world and in, my own business.
Sure.
I don't think I should bring them to the table.
Sure.
That's no problem.
I just don't want to get anybody in trouble.
Yeah, no,
that's totally fair.
There's sort of a confidentiality.
Yeah.
Whether it's written or not. It's like, hey,
No,
yeah.
that's so crazy. Like, yeah, as Dakota said, like that client base is a little different of a client base, I can imagine.
For real. Like the Rolls-Royce restoration, I find that so fascinating because I'm like, granted the work is there. Once you get someone in, it's hundreds to thousands of hours on what you're doing. But I feel like, man, how much of a clientele is there for Rolls-Royce restoration,
They're out there.
It's
When
crazy
you look
to
at
me.
the global stage, you see those cars at shows.
Right.
Yeah.
So
True.
people are having them. I do think there may be a declining number.
Yeah.
I think that group is aging out. Even the Ferrari generation is shifting, I think, from some of the old Ferraris into some of the 70s, 80s
Yeah.
Ferraris.
What do you see it kind of moving towards? Do you see it like the Ferraris? Do you see it moving towards like Porsche stuff?
I think there's going to be a shift more towards 70s and 80s stuff.
Sure.
And I definitely think that you're going to see a shift into JDM
Oh yeah,
at
definitely.
like the Concours level and the like really custom mod level.
Yeah, because even we were talking about like Larry Chen. He has his Skyline, his R34, went through like a crazy like restoration and stuff like that. And I can 100% see, because I even think back to like, oh man, if I could have saved my Eclipse back in the day, because like it just rotted out. Strut towers rotted out, like the whole subframe was got like, it's like, I looked at that, I'm like, that car's junk. Like there's no saving that. But I don't know if I would want to put the amount of money into what it probably would have cost to do what it would. Yeah. But when you're talking R34 GTRs or like Toyota like 2000 GT, things like that.
I mean, they're going for Ferrari prices.
Yeah, so I could 100% see it moving towards that.
Yeah, absolutely.
If a young enthusiast wanted to get into fabrication, what advice would you have for someone looking to dabble into that industry?
I'd start with YouTube. I'd
Really?
buy some cheap tools and I'd start with YouTube. There's some really good guys out there. I've got a couple of friends with a solid YouTube channel where they're doing all kinds of stuff and showing his skills.
Yeah, absolutely.
Join a Facebook group. I'd start manually. There's some courses you can take, but you can do apprentice stuff. You can get into like workshop seminar type things. I would go that route. And just like, if you really want to get into it, find a project, build a chopper, right? Maybe make the fenders, make the tank.
Sure. Yeah.
Find some things that you can approach without having, to do a whole car. Or,
right. That's a good idea. I didn't think of that. Yeah,
small. Yeah.
Maybe like a cafe racer, a chopper.
Yeah,
make some small
build the seat
parts.
for your cafe bike.
Yeah.
Right? Start there.
Yeah.
Because, diving in, you got to you got to start at the bottom of the
100%.
ladder, right? It's probably a 10-year process.
I was going to say, it's really daunting. That's why I asked. It's like, it's such a big thing. I feel like it's hard to get into, but it's a great example to get into bikes. You mentioned like burnout and stuff too. What do you do to kind of get over that burnout hump? What gets you fired back up again?
Lately, it's the coffee thing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I kind of needed to just put my mind on some other project.
Yeah.
I really like skilled trades. And, every single day when I'd go to work, I'd pour a cup of coffee and hit the workbench and get to work. And I took a little time off. I was in a business partnership that didn't go as planned. And, I was brainstorming, like, what else can I do?
Yeah.
So the whole, like, Motivator Coffee thing came up, and building a coffee company that can help support the next generation. That's kind of the goal, is to give back to the community. Working with a couple of foundations, in early talks with them to give back through their foundation. One of them funds scholarships. One of them funds, what's the word I'm looking for? Apprentices.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Right. So they actually help.
Bless you.
Whoa.
Thunder.
Nice.
I think it was thunder.
And one of them, works with employers actually to help cover the cost of training.
Oh, okay.
Right. So like, if you are a restoration shop or a custom shop or a hot rod shop, and you need to bring in somebody, a general rule, if you see a job application, they're all going to say they want 5 years of experience.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you get it? Right. You're not going to get the right experience at a body shop most of the time.
Right.
Sure. You're not going to get it on your own most of the time. Yeah. I was lucky. I got in with virtually no experience, but they were willing to invest the time in me because they figured I could do it. But So
that's cool. So you're essentially giving that opportunity to others then.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine as like a business nowadays, things are the way that they are, and it's like, oh well, we're gonna have to invest hundreds of thousands of hours in training this person. That's expensive. So being able to cover that cost, I think, is super cool.
Yeah, I think what they're working at right now is they cover roughly like 75% of some of the training costs, and it involves the Department of Education, some paperwork and stuff. But it's a pretty cool program that I'm learning more about, and hopefully we're going to work together soon.
That's awesome.
So that's something I'm pretty excited about.
Love to hear it. Something I'm excited about is one of our sponsors of the Martini Works podcast, Continental Tire. They just released the Viking Contact 8, which you can check out over at martiniworks.com. Winter tire. Winter's coming up, unfortunately, but a set of winter tires will change your life. It'll make you like winter just a little bit more because
It's tolerable.
it's tolerable. You can have some fun in the snow when you can actually control your vehicle. So make sure you head on over, beat the rush. It's already getting to be like too late. So if you need winter tires, go check them out. Otherwise, Continental offers awesome all seasons performance tires, the DWS06, the Extreme Contact Sport 02, whatever you're looking for. And they have a ton of sizes and an awesome warranty. So head on over to Martini Works. And thank you to Continental for being a sponsor of Martini Works podcast. We'll be right back. Well, getting back into it, What do you currently drive? You drive anything cool, and do you have a dream build?
No, I don't drive anything cool.
You got to build something.
Working on
Once you leave here, maybe you should go round something up quick and just.
So, being the dreamer that I am, I just before COVID hit, I created this idea that I was going to build my own car, like a scratch built one off.
Dang.
Like tube chassis, constructed like a vintage Cobra kind of car, aluminum body. And I got well into that, but I have not completed that. COVID hit, business got busy, and I was actually going to maybe do like a limited production run of those, but I just, learned that was going to be tough. So
What a crazy concept. That's so cool, though.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
But that's sitting in a storage unit. In terms of like the automotive community, I was thinking about this on the way over here. You got the drivers, you got the builders, and then you got all these people behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like you got the craftsmen, the mechanics, like that whole. And I've been more in that. Like I love building it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Driving stuff is fun. You go into car shows is fairly fun. But to be honest, for me, when I'm around this stuff all day, I'm less excited about car shows.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Than I used to be. When I was a kid, I thought it was the coolest thing.
Yeah.
You get a little desensitized to some of this stuff. So, but I've got one on my radar. My buddy's got something I'm interested in buying. So we'll see. That's you have to run it by the wifey.
It's always a good call.
Gotta get the stamp of approval.
It's an investment.
Yeah.
I think it's a solid investment. He's got a 308.
Okay.
Which I really like.
Sure.
Solid car, solid driver car, mechanically sound.
Sure.
Not crazy price tag.
Right.
Would actually be fun. Not afraid to hurt it. So, that one's that's an idea floating around, but
Sure.
he's on the fence about selling it too. So
Gotcha.
we'll see.
Yeah, I feel like with having all the projects you do, it's got to be tough to like work on your own thing too and make time for that.
Yeah.
It super is, and that was kind of the plan with my car. It's like I'll fill in the gaps here, but I got 2 kids.
Yeah.
And there's no gaps.
Yeah, that's the problem. I'm like, okay, where do my gaps go?
Yeah.
So it's tough. And, starting a business, you get a lot of obligations. Not just the work, but keeping up with payroll when I had employees and
Oh, yeah.
all the paperwork.
Yeah, it's not like you're just at work doing the stuff. It's like you're running the dang business.
Yeah,
you know?
you're doing everything, and I was doing everything,
Yep.
right? I mean, I was kind of the lead at the shop, and also, doing work too. So it was busy. It still is busy.
Absolutely.
So like this might be a silly question, but like I don't know a lot about the world of fabrication.
Sure.
Has it been modernized at all? Is there tools that really help you, or is it still kind of the way things were in the past?
Yeah. A lot of stuff is still done the traditional way. There are some new tools. There is incremental sheet metal forming stuff out there. I did get some time this year to experiment with one of those machines, and I found it has its uses.
Yeah.
It definitely has its uses. There's some limits to what I found, at least in terms of the types of alloys required and how the metal has to be treated post forming. So there's modern technology out there. Slow adoption.
Yeah.
Slow adoption, I think, because there's some hang-ups with it yet, and there's also resistance to traditional craftsmen being like, well, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
It's like we've done it.
I
this
feel like
way.
there's always that
so many
mentality
years.
of
It's got to be done this way.
doing
It's
it
how
the
it was
right
done.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, to put something into a machine, you got to have a 3D model or
Yep.
scan a part. You got to get it in CAD.
Yeah.
You got to write the program. You got to load the machine with whatever. It's like, okay. The craftsman standing next to him and be like, I could be done already.
I was gonna say, how does that?
Right? So you got to balance the
Yeah.
costs and the time of like, is it faster?
Yeah, you put that much time into engineering or just actually
Exactly.
doing it? I was gonna ask too because I know about the sheet metal forming machine like you were talking about.
Yeah.
I've actually seen that, and we have a partner that has one
Yeah,
of those as
yeah.
well. And a crazy concept, crazy cool machine.
That's the machine.
It does-
I mean, not them, but same machine.
It does a really cool thing. Like you put in a piece of sheet metal, you tell it what to make, and it makes it. Like it's
Yep.
kind of crazy. But like in the case of like hand forming stuff, it's like, are there like blueprints you go off of? Is it just like referencing
Yeah,
the
like old
piece?
photos.
Like how do you even start?
Sometimes, I mean, sometimes you start with photos.
Wow.
I had a customer approach me to build a kind of off-the-wall project. It was an Excalibur race car.
Okay.
Before Excalibur made their like weird fiberglass things on the Corvette chassis, they had a race team, and they would race out at Elkhart Lake, and they had, I think, 3 hand-built race cars that were built in Milwaukee. And guy's like, I got a bunch of the parts that were the originals. Could you build me a body? Yeah, sure. So we did do that. I started with, reference photos. And from there, I had the chassis. We were able to get one of the other old cars to look at the construction methods. It was different, but at least we could see how they built it. So we built what's called a wire form.
Okay.
So imagine, just the skeleton of what the body would look like, and then shape the metal to the skeleton.
Gotcha.
So we could prove the shapes kind of in the wire form.
Sure.
And then as we were shaping it, we could see if we wanted to do anything. It's a lot of make parts like, do you guys know what Clecos are?
Yes. Yes.
I don't. Explain it to me.
Clecos are little temporary fasteners. I didn't
Okay.
want to throw that in there in case you guys didn't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, you drill a little 1/8-inch hole, and it's just a little repeatable clamp.
Okay,
Right? It's
gotcha.
from the aircraft industry.
Gotcha.
So anyway, Cleco all the panels back.
Just kind of eyeball it.
See it well? Yeah.
Hey, you got to do what you got to
Yeah,
do sometimes.
and, you just study it and make art. A lot of those old cars were not symmetrical,
Sure.
so there's some leeway there.
I was gonna say, yeah,
Right?
because in my mind, like that would just bug me so much. Like when something's like not like perfectly symmetrical, it's like I feel like like you said, that's just kind of how it was.
A
Because
lot of times you can't tell.
Yeah.
And what makes it work is the craftsman going standing 20 feet back and like close enough.
yeah.
But I mean, really, that's it. I've worked on Ferraris where the doors were like 2 inches different. from
Wow,
side to
wow.
side, and like you only see one side of the same.
You're only looking
side
at
at
one
a
of them. Yeah.
Like how you really know.
That's the thing we'd always say. Well, you can only see one side at a time. So, but there's anomalies.
Yeah.
I think to an extent it makes some of that stuff more beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's unique.
It's unique. It's like the face of a beautiful model. They're not all perfect. You know what I mean? So, when somebody asks you to do something, it's like you shoot for perfect, but when it's a little off, it's like it still fits the mold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
So
That's got to feel really amazing though once it all does come together and you're able to look at something you create.
it's incredibly rewarding.
Yeah.
That like it's incredibly rewarding. That final day or two or whatever, when it all comes together, it's, there's a lot of just like taking it in.
Yeah.
At least for me, I like to just stare at it, grab a cup of coffee or a beverage and just like, okay, I built that.
Yeah.
And then it leaves and you never see it again.
Yeah. See ya.
Yeah, you might have a customer send you some pictures down the road, or you'll see it at a show someplace.
That's cool.
So yeah, there's some reward there.
Yeah, that's super
But
neat.
there are other ways, like if somebody is building a new car, they'll build a buck. A buck is basically like a wooden model,
Okay.
essentially, and you shape the metal to that.
Oh wow.
And then take it off and put it on the chassis.
Whoa.
You know,
I was gonna say, because I remember like the old car commercials. I think still some new car commercials. You know, they're showing the guys are sculpting stuff out of like clay.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is actually like a real thing then.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you know, a lot of custom shops will still do that.
Sure.
You know, even if it's just like grafting a taillight into a hot rod, they can sculpt that corner.
Right.
Create patterns from that.
Sure.
So
Because I've seen.
I do that sometimes. I'll use the clay.
Yeah,
That's cool.
that's super cool. Because I've seen a lot of stuff move kind of like in like the fiberglass world and things like that. People making like body kits and things. You know,
Yeah.
they'll shoot a bunch of expandable foam on stuff with cardboard, and then they'll just start carving away. And it's like that's such a crazy concept, but like it kind of stems from that.
Yeah, I
you know?
mean, you're sculpting it,
Yeah.
and then you know you get something close, you can lay fiberglass on, make a mold, pull a pattern, or whatever you need to do. Yeah, that stuff's fun.
Yeah.
I mean that's like really creative. You know.
Yeah.
Get your hands dirty a little bit with that.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure.
That's dope. I like that. Is there any jobs that are like during this process that are like more difficult, or you're like, oh shit, we're at this point now?
Yeah. Yeah.
The whole thing.
So I would say the fun part,
Yeah.
at least from my perspective, is shaping the parts.
Right.
You know, you break a fender down or a quarter panel or whatever part of the car down into pieces that you can manage, shape them appropriately, fit them to your form, whatever you're using. Then they all got to get welded together.
Yep.
That's the process that I find a little more tedious.
Yeah.
You know, if you're really good at the welding, like I TIG weld everything together. There's like very little grinding. I don't like to waste my time doing that. Welds are then, you know, hammered back out. When you weld, it distorts the material, so you got to bring it back. So there's welding, grinding, metal finishing, filing. You know, that gets
It's like one of those one step forward, two step back kind of thing. Where it's like, okay, well now it's one piece, but now I got to reform the whole damn thing.
Yeah. And you know, you wind up taking parts off and putting them on, and taking them off and putting them on, and you know, little tweaks here and a little file swipe there, and a little more shape here, and a little, you know. You know, when I had a boss at one of the places, like, just leave it on the car. It's like, well, I got to take it off.
Like, oh
Why
man,
do you
we're
keep
getting,
taking
we're
it
getting
off?
close to the end. No, it's got to come out.
The whole thing's got to come back up like
starting to look
50
like-
more times. But it's got to fit. Everything's got to fit just right before you put it on for good. And there's, you know, many, many, many areas where you could run into fitment issues. Those old, like the whole front clip was one piece.
Yeah.
Not like a modern car with fender bolts on, hood bolts on.
Yeah.
They were one thing.
Yeah, that's
so
crazy.
you imagine all those pieces going together. You got to figure out the order.
Yeah.
You got to do that puzzle in your mind first.
Right.
A lot of times, that's you'll wake up in the middle of the night. You're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna weld that piece to that piece. This piece.
Gotta have like a breakthrough moment.
Yeah, yeah. It's the back brain working
Yeah.
when you're not at work. Figures it all out, and then you go to work the next morning and put it all together.
Nice.
So
Crazy. Out of all the like cars or projects you've worked on, is there any specifically that stand out to you that like pushed your skills the furthest?
yes, I worked on a car. It was called a Ferrari. I believe it was 400 super fast.
Okay.
It was a prototype vehicle that Ferrari put out, and they used it as a design mule for several shows.
Sure.
And that car had been through many iterations and many different design changes, and they did it very crudely. In period, there's like inches of lead on that car.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Jesus. Like they sculpted parts of the car out of lead, and we're like, oh man, well, like, you know, we made it steel, you know.
Yeah.
So that car came in with the wrong front end on it. I wound up building the entire front half of that car
Wow.
because it was gone. Yeah, the door skins on that car, 70% of the quarter panels on that car. I did a lot of that, and that was a unique car.
So it was essentially kind of like a concept car for them.
It
then.
was a
Yeah.
concept car, and
Man, that's so crazy.
yeah. After I left, they came back and they went through and did a couple iterations of the progression again. So the guy restored it fully, brought it back, and then did another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like one of those instances where it's like you're looking at a bunch of history. Then you're looking at all the old photos because like that's the one and only like reference to
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Like my gosh.
Yeah, there was so much to fix and so much to replace. That was the one where the car was very. It was the cowl was like racked off center from the factory, and you can see it in period photos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we left it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
Okay.
that's
That's
what it
what it
was.
was.
It was an inch in this way and an inch out that way. So this side of the car was rounder than this side of the car.
It's so interesting. Is there ever times where you make the call or maybe the customer specifically makes the call like they want it improved or they want it different from the original, or is it usually you're trying to get as close to that original as you
Usually you're trying to go as close to original as
That's
possible with the restoration
Mm-hmm.
stuff, the Concours stuff. Customers may dictate some of those decisions, or they might go to a very specific period of a car where if it was raced at an event, like at this event, it had these louvers and
Oh,
this.
You want it
interesting.
like that.
Yeah, and we're gonna paint it that way,
Yeah.
even though it wasn't the way it came off the factory. They like match like a period scheme.
Sure.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So you guys do the painting of everything. So like when the car is done, where you are, it's completely done, 100% ready to go. That's what you're saying?
What's that?
Like the whole process, when you're restoring a car, you do everything. You've done everything. Like, do you paint personally?
Oh no, I do not.
Okay.
I just do the metal stuff.
Gotcha.
I am a specialist in that. I do not sling bondo. I do not sand. That's
sure.
that's not my wheelhouse. There are very talented people that
Yeah.
can do all that, and
Absolutely.
they should be doing it because
That's a whole skill set in
Yeah.
itself too. That's why I was
there's
interested.
so many things that can go wrong when you're painting a car.
Oh yeah.
You need somebody that really knows what's up.
Yeah. I can barely spray paint something without getting paint runs in it. So I give all those guys props
Yeah.
in the world.
I totally understand you every single time.
What skill set in what you do would you say took the longest amount of time to learn or perfect?
It's the metal shaping
Yeah.
aspect of things.
Really
Yeah.
curving them out.
Yeah, to get it really nice. I went. A lot of it was on the job, but I did do a seminar, and the seminar like just jumped those skills forward like several years, just because I was able to have very intensive time with somebody who really knew what was up. But yeah, that's probably the hardest. Beyond that, you kind of have to have a built-in ability first.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then once you have, like, if you're born with it, you can kind of take that
For
path
sure.
a
Yeah,
little
you got to
bit.
have an eye for it.
Yeah, you gotta be able to visualize it.
And the problem solving, the sort of deconstructing
Sure.
things and reconstructing things in your mind. If you have those two things, then like the actual skill set takes time. I mean, I would say I got pretty good at it within 5 to 7 years. But I mean, there's always incremental gains.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I reached that point where the gains were like not so significant.
Sure.
I really enjoyed when I'd make big leaps.
Yeah.
Oh wow, this panel's way smoother than the last
Right.
one because I did it like this. But now it's just like
It's the little wins that
it's
like
small
you're really
wins.
perfecting.
Yeah, and it's actually harder to stay motivated for me with
Sure.
like the little wins. The learning curve tapers. It's kind of like okay, well, it's a little more monotonous.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So
So swinging back to the coffee side of stuff, you said that was able to kind of bring your spark back. What have you learned by delving into something so different?
a lot.
Yeah, I bet. I bet.
I mean, just everything that goes into a coffee business. A lot about the coffee itself, about where it's grown, like acidity and, roast profiles and, different types of beans. And all that stuff I was aware of it.
Right.
But, when I was like, I think I'm going to try to build a brand here.
Yeah.
I have this idea, ran a test, kind of with just like a really crummy little Shopify store.
Yeah,
and like,
yeah.
but like just to see if it was of any interest.
Right.
There was enough interest that I was like, I can't let this fall.
Yeah.
I got to keep going at it. And so, yeah, I've learned a ton. And it's not just related to the coffee. The learning experience has been, setting up the entire online facade.
Yeah,
And
100%.
everything that goes into that. I mean, there's a lot there.
Yeah.
And like, there's many times I've been like totally overwhelmed by it, honestly, because it's like, you can set up a Shopify store in 10 minutes to make it look good
And function
and function and cause people to buy
Yep.
is like a whole nother animal.
Oh, 100%. That's why, like, even for like our site and stuff, we have these guys that kill it and they're web developers, and we give so much credit to them because it is truly hard.
man.
And that's a skill set in itself, is creating all that and making it user friendly
It's a
and
craft.
not having a
Like,
billion issues with it
seriously.
and all that. So
Yeah.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so I mean that has been engaging for me. I like to learn new stuff, and just kind of absorbing all that. The next massive mountain for me is marketing, which you guys are awesome at.
Oh, well, thank you.
I feel like I'm a little toddler wearing my like marketing diapers. Maybe I'll get my like trainers out soon, but like, there's so much to learn.
I think the brand is super cool. So
Yeah.
Motivator Coffee, obviously tying it back to a lot of like the automotive stuff. So like
Yep.
the brand is very like automotive forward. I think that's super cool.
That's what I wanted to do.
One of the reasons why you guys are coming to Gatlinburg this year is why we partnered with you to help with our own coffee, essentially, that we are bringing to Gatlinburg. So make sure to check that out. It's fantastic stuff.
Yeah, if you're there, you got to pick up a bag. Like, no joke, not just saying this. Like, we brought in and tested it. We wanted to see. It was the first time we've ever done anything like this, too. So we learned a lot about the process. We're getting to go there and check out where it's actually roasted, which is exciting. So stay tuned for that video. But it tastes, it's so good. It's some of the best coffee I've had. Like, I drink it straight. Normally, I'm a creamer person. I had creamers and sugar and whatnot. I didn't have to. I legit was drinking like the espresso straight and stuff. So I was super excited. It's neat, too, to like have like the automotive side tied in with that. I really like that and I enjoy it.
There have been a couple brands, I think, in the space that were automotive oriented.
Yeah.
They did a good job, but I think a lot of it was flash.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. My angle, I'm the guy here doing it. It's not just a guy that has some money that can put a bunch of marketing materials out there.
Yeah, right.
So I really like kind of catering it to the people that are in it. You know, and then hopefully the people that are outside of it will help support it.
Right.
They'll see that.
And
yeah.
see that. So I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
It's really something that kind of, it's a labor of love
Yeah.
for me at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's how you win, though.
Those are some of the best like projects.
Because when we started doing this, like, we didn't know anything about marketing.
Sure.
I didn't go to school for marketing. I was a security guard at a Walmart distribution center. And I think the golden ticket to marketing is just enjoying what you do and sharing that with others. I truly, I don't think it's a class you take. I don't think it's any of that. So I think you're right you're just passionate about it. You like it. You wanted to have another creative outlet. So I think that's why it will be super successful.
I think it will. I got to figure some things out.
Yeah, right. Right.
Yeah, that's the fun
That's
part
a
of it,
beast
yeah.
of it, though.
But no,
100%.
you're right. And, you know, I've heard people say you should scratch your own itch, right? When it comes to businesses,
Yeah.
things that generally interest you.
Yeah, it's the easiest
And
to talk about.
I tell you, man, when I scoop my own brand in
Yeah.
the morning and it's fucking delicious, like
It's
That's the
different.
coolest thing. It is.
in my world, I've already made it.
Yeah,
You know, like,
100%.
I got my own brand.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's profitable or not. At this
Exactly.
point, you know, so, but we will make it profitable. And I hope to do actually a lot of partnerships. I've got some ideas for limited partnerships that could be really cool.
Absolutely.
And support other businesses in the process.
Yeah, 100%.
So-
I think it's awesome. I'm super excited to see it, and then to have our own blend too that we get to collaborate with you is so cool.
I'm excited to try it. I got you guys a sample
Yeah.
and I ran off. I'm gonna steal one of the bags before I drop all.
Oh, absolutely. We'll make sure you
100%.
get a couple bags of it.
We got to meet up in the morning and have some coffee. But legit, like, we're excited. We're actually going to go there. We're going to film like some of the process of it, so we can show you guys how it's done, and it's just super neat. But talking about some stuff we're into, Melco Automotive, another sponsor of the Martini Works podcast. Another thing besides coffee that we're bringing down to get is our car show detailing stuff. Got to make sure everything is nice and clean for you guys down there. We have 2 exclusive cars we're bringing down there. You might know about one. You might see Alex opening his big mouth about it. But the other one we haven't. We haven't spilled the beans on the other car we're bringing, so we're super excited to show you. But we do that, have them all showcased. We get down there and we spend hours making sure they're clean, and we do that with Melco Automotive. It's been really great using their stuff. So the Cherry Flash, It's phenomenal for quick detailing at shows. We've even used it. They taught us when they came and taught us about the stuff, like use it in direct sunlight. A lot of other brands can't use it in direct sunlight. It gets all weird. This stuff, it works really well. So
I sprayed it on the car, like baking in the sun all day, and it's done a great job. It's not streaky. It
works good. And it smells really good too. It smells great. So check that out. We have a bunch of detailing kits that you guys can pick up, or you can buy them individually. It's up to you. Check them out over at Martini Works. And a huge thank you to Melco for being a sponsor of Martini Works podcast. We'll be back. Tell me about barn finds. I've been fascinated by them since like Forza Horizon integrated them into the video game where you could like drive around and find barn finds. I think it's every car enthusiast's dream to like find the old lady that has her old deceased husband's Toyota Supra just chilling in a garage and wants $5,000 for it, because I'm still looking for that. What's it look like when you guys get a barn find in?
Yeah, well, you've seen the pictures.
Yeah.
Right? So that is the dream. But yeah, sometimes they show up. And
so they are a real thing.
They are a real thing.
You're telling me there's a chance.
So you're telling me. Yeah. Yeah, they'll show up, and sometimes, honestly, I'll get emails from people, and they're like, "Hey," they'll snap a picture of a barn, and I'm like, "Dude, like there's 2 of those in the back,
really,
and like a clapped out Porsche 356 or something. They're still out there, and that's what blows my mind. But, I've seen some of those pictures come out on the internet, like, oh, this car was just found in some guy's garage or barn or chicken coop or whatever. And they show up just like that. I mean, usually they'll sell them at auction kind of looking that way.
Sure.
If the family wants to. Yeah. If that's the way they go. Otherwise, the family sends it out for restoration. But yeah, they send it to the shop, and it's like covered in grime.
Yeah.
Smells like mouse piss.
Oh, 50,
always
50 animal nests.
It's like not a question. It's just like, oh man, this thing reeks.
Yeah.
So like, what's like step one? It shows up. It's there. It smells like mouse piss. What's the first thing you're doing with it?
You probably maybe rinse it off a little
Spray
bit.
it out.
Yeah. Maybe blow off some of the dust outside. But yeah, itemize parts.
Okay.
Take off little stuff. Leave it together.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of dig in and see. Usually it's an exploration, like you pull the seats out, you open the trunk, you see what's under the mat. Is there anything under the mat?
Yeah. You gotta have found some, like, is there ever anything in the cars that you find that's interesting? Maybe old postcards, money.
Found some old tools.
Yeah.
Periodically you find like some old like newspaper stuff.
Yeah.
It's like stuffed in the corner that gives you some sort of sampling of the time frame.
That's kind of cool. And so I would have fun with that part.
Like seats or something. Yeah.
Dude, I find it fascinating when like I buy a used car and I go through and I detail it for the first time and I'm finding old receipts. And you kind of you find that story of the car.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, this receipt was in Ohio. This thing was in Ohio. I didn't even know, just like old stuff like that. I think that's cool.
I found some tools.
Yeah, that's neat.
That were left in there from like when it was built. Little tools stuffed in, behind the upholstery. Like there's only, it had to be there.
Dang.
little signs that the craftsmen were there. But it's a fascinating process. There's usually all sorts of weird stuff in the glove box.
Yeah, I bet.
I can imagine.
So, we've had cars that we joked were like some drug cars from like South America or something, because they just looked wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no reason for these holes here.
Man, that's crazy. So so you itemize it, you get everything listed that's savable, I'm assuming, right?
But yeah.
And then do you like kind of have like a storage facility for that and kind of organize it in that way?
Just storage racks like you got
Gotcha.
here, guys. You want it out on a rack, inventoried and visible, and you just go through it.
Makes sense.
Piece. But yeah, you start with junk.
So it's inventory, you get it stripped apart. What's step 2 then?
After step 2, after step 1, I'm sorry, it's so full disassembly, mechanical disassembly.
Okay.
And that's
getting everything out.
Yeah, getting everything out. Pull the motor, pull the transmission, see what's going to be usable.
Is it a lot of times, I'm assuming with barn finds, engine and transmission got to be replaced too, that it's probably seized up?
Yeah. There's nothing. I mean, you can save them. Sure, but
I was going to ask, because
tear them apart.
You got some of these like older cars coming in that it's old Ferrari or something like that. I can imagine the engines aren't super available for
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. It's like you just almost have a whole other shop to send out an engine to
Yeah.
resurrect an engine, essentially.
Yeah, there are a couple of specialist shops.
Sure.
The shop in town can handle all of that.
Wow.
They're actually very good at that end of it. So yeah, it's a process.
The cheap barn find starts
That's
not
what I
being
was
so
gonna say.
cheap.
It's like
Yeah.
it all seems really cool in theory, right? It's like, oh man, I just found my dream car just chilling, and I get it for essentially nothing. And it's like, yeah, but now you got to stick a couple $100,000 into like, getting it to where it should be. It's like, oof, that got hit really bad.
Yeah, yeah. It's wild how much of that stuff is still out there, though.
And then
Yeah.
too, like, I'm interested in the business side of it. It's got to be kind of a logistical nightmare if you get a few vehicles in at a time and you're doing all this like custom stuff. And are you typically working on multiple cars at a time, or is it you kind of focus on one for a week or a month or whatever?
Depending on the shop that you're at, like my shop,
Yeah.
I was just a metal shop, but I would have 3 or 4 projects going at once.
Sure,
And
sure.
logistically, that's because we'd get stalled out for one or reason
Right,
or another,
yeah,
and we
yep.
would just need to keep people busy. Bigger shops, yeah, they'll have anywhere from like 2 to 6 projects probably going like pretty consistently through at least like full projects.
Gotcha.
There's always like the continual repair.
What's
type
like the longest project that you can remember? Like, how long? Like,
Yeah.
the
How
shop
long
has
did the
had it?
longest one take? It's got to be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that would probably be that one that I had 2,000 hours in. I think
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the biggest project I was part of. I don't know what the total hours
Right.
were on that. I wasn't privy to that information. It was probably a couple year project
Dang.
with a lot of people working.
I can
on it.
imagine.
Yeah.
Dude, that bill had to be just absolutely
No idea. No idea.
bill. This has to be atrocious.
Yeah.
Oh my
so-
gosh. But yeah, that's crazy. Just be like, yeah, take this car for, a couple years and do what you need to do, and it comes out the way that it does. Like, that's such an interesting concept. I love that's a thing, because I think it's important to keep those cars like that.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
keep that history around, keep those stories around, because every single one of those cars has just some sort of insane story
Oh, yeah.
attached to it, and I think that's super cool to keep them on the road and keep them in shape, and literally like reviving them from the dead in some
Yeah.
cases.
And
Oh, yeah.
Many of them are essentially fine art.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just beautiful
Yeah.
as a sculpture. So definitely worth saving and putting in the time, if the rarity and value makes sense.
100%.
So,
Absolutely. So then once it's disassembled, you got it all torn apart, engines out, transmissions out. You're basically just left with the frame, and then you start.
Or what's left.
Yeah,
Well-
what's left of it.
sometimes you actually peel the aluminum skins off.
Dang.
Oh, wow.
So like you take all the skins off the car and you're just left with the framework and the frame.
Sure.
You know,
'Cause you got
structure
to
and
see if
frame.
what's all going on in there. If it's
Yeah,
if
and
it's
you got to get
corrosion
in
or-
there and sanitize the corrosion, fix
Yeah.
what's bad, take care of all that, and then the clip's got to go back on. And that's a fun process because everywhere you peeled that edge off, you got to weld little 2-inch strips of aluminum around every single edge.
Oh, man.
So you have fresh edges to wrap.
Sure.
Because they've been, they're thin, they're filed through, they're cracking all over the place. You can only bend aluminum so many times until it just breaks right off anyway. So that's a big thing. With aluminum cars, you can do that. Steel cars, it's harder, but it's definitely been done.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes you get really deep into the weeds.
Yeah,
it's
I bet.
not just like, taking the suspension off and painting it.
Yeah.
You get it all the way down to the bones.
Has it ever happened? I feel like it's had to have happened because I'll work on a brand new car and I'll break something. But like, I would be so stressed out. You have one of these rare prototype cars or just an older Ferrari, and you're removing something, and she breaks.
Yeah, you're in an environment though where the guy next to you can fix it.
Oh, fair enough.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, like,
If there's a place that you were to do that,
Yeah.
you'd probably be there.
yeah, it's like, oh, no big deal, I got it.
Yeah.
And that was nerve wracking, but when I first got into it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna cut the front of this.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm cutting this quarter panel. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, man, just there's nothing you can mess up that I can't fix.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's
Okay.
such an insane concept.
So, and now, I mean, I have that same attitude
Yeah.
towards it. It's like, it's just metal.
Yeah,
It's all
we'll
just
figure it
metal. It's
out.
all just metal. You know, the hardest part is like if you lose rare parts.
That's what I was
Like
thinking.
little
of.
things,
right?
like-
yeah,
Sure.
Gauges and little
ashtray, the
doodads.
shifter, or whatever. Yeah,
Well, that's just like, we'd make ashtrays
oh really?
from scratch, out of brass.
Wow.
like,
Okay.
soldering little pieces together.
Down
like,
to the details.
yeah, I getting stuff engraved, doing all that little stuff, like, because that stuff does get lost over the years.
Yeah.
Oh,
there
100%.
are, there are junk guys out there that will save every little piece. If you can find those guys, and if they speak English, and if you can get them to talk to you, they might send you the part for an exorbitant amount of money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like sometimes it's like, we'll just make it.
You just got to be. But that's what I was thinking of, because it's like, again, like I'm tearing into stuff and I'll crack something. A barn find, you break something there. I imagine everything's got to be so brittle if it's just
So
been
much.
sitting and dried out and.
Yeah, I mean, like interior stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's gone. I mean, it's basically turned into dust.
Yeah.
So all that stuff is shot.
I was gonna say interior stuff. That stuff's, I would imagine, most of it's got to be like sourced or something.
Well, it's usually
or is
all
it-
one-off made
Yeah. Okay.
in-house. You can't.
So you
Some cars, like little newer ones with higher production, you can get some like seat covers and floor mats for.
okay, but most of the time it's all right.
Well-
Got to get to work.
Custom upholstery shop.
Oh my gosh.
Custom upholstery shop. From the springs and the seat frames all the way up.
Wow.
So if you're getting a barn find, maybe just think about what you're getting into a little bit. You're basically starting from
You're
square
signing up
one.
for something. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while you find a car out there that's been sitting with like no miles on it, 500 miles on it or something. Even that, there's going to be gremlins.
Oh,
that's
100%.
Might get away with changing the fluids and
Yeah.
but there's going to be corroded wires and there's going to be
It's all the stuff
Yeah,
you
mice
don't
chewed on something
all the stuff
or-
you don't really think about. That's like you said. Yeah, the mice are the animals in general are atrocious to those cars. I can imagine. Like Jesus.
yeah. As we're talking here, I want to shout something out
Yeah,
because
yeah.
there are so many talented people in the Fox Valley in the
Really?
car.
It is. I'm realizing that. Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. Like, I mean, obviously the shops we're talking about, but there's several others. And there's a lot of skilled people here.
It really is.
It's not just the Fox Valley. There's some really great builders in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Down by Milwaukee, out by Madison. I mean, there's world-class shops within an hour of here doing all different kinds of stuff. So I just want to give this shout out. Like,
Oh,
we're talking
100%.
about
Oh,
me.
yeah.
I'm just one little peon. You're right. I do some stuff now and again, but like, there's so many talented people out there, and in the end, like, all of those people contribute to the whole,
100%.
and it's a huge team effort.
And I appreciate that so much because we go to the car shows, we go to the museums, we go to a race day at Road America, and it's like the reason those cars are there is because of people like that and people like yourself. So
Whole support system.
yeah, huge shout out to anyone that has a thing in that, because like you said, it's not easy. It's a lot of hours. It's a whole lifestyle. To make sure that these cars are staying so we can see them.
Yeah, and I think, like you're saying too, a lot of it, like, you got to be born with it a little bit. You got to have the eye, you got to have the skills, you got to have
ambition.
the ambition, the drive to do this. It so much goes into it. So maybe the next time, you're walking through a car show or something, and you see that older car that's in mint condition. Think about what it took to get it to that point. And
It either is one guy who's been really diligent about maintenance.
Yep.
Right? And that happens.
Yeah, oh, yeah, yep.
Right? But sometimes it's a whole crew of people that brought it back.
That's why those conversations are so important. Go ask somebody about it, because I'm sure they're happy to tell you about what's going on with it. But what do you got going on, man? Where can people find you if they want to see what's going on with the coffee, cars, anything like that?
Easiest thing would be probably Instagram.
Yep.
Motivator on Instagram, and motivator.com to talk
you go.
about
So
check
we'll
out
make
the
sure
coffee
to-
business.
Yeah, we'll make sure to link them in the description.
Yeah,
and
go in
stuff
the
for you guys.
description. You can
Go
check
'em
out the website that he's working on, and the coffee. And then, too, of course, you can head on over to the booth and check it out as well, because we're going to have
try
some
some.
down.
Definitely go buy it, because it
Yeah.
is hands down some of the best coffee you're going to get.
Yeah, for real, though.
It's no joke. I'm not just
Yeah.
like like proud on that. It's like
no, it's legit.
It's
That's why we do what we do. This whole journey that we've been set on is to just choose the stuff that we want to choose, the stuff we believe in, and this is just one of those things. So make sure you come check it out. But thank you so much for coming on the
man,
podcast.
Thanks for the chat. Hopefully, I didn't bore everybody.
No, I find it fascinating because I am so on the other realm. I go to install an intake and I get frustrated and I'm cussing. So I literally can't wrap my mind around what you do. You're gonna have you like form my head or something around it. It doesn't make sense to me. So much appreciation for your skill set, what you do, your stories. It's super neat. Make sure you guys go follow them and check out what's going on there. And finally, a shout out to Fortunato for sponsoring Martini Works podcast. A suspension of the podcast. We've all ran it. We've really enjoyed it. We've been using it on all of our vehicles, and it's tested the stands of time, so to say, because I've been running it since I was like 17 years old on my Evo. It was the first car I put it in, and then my Focus I put it in, and then the Supra I put in, and that was before it was ever a sponsor for the Martini Works podcast. So we've really enjoyed working with those guys and the crew down in Virginia. Got to go check them out, hang out with them, and see how passionate they are about getting their suspension perfect for you. So if you guys need help picking out a set of coilovers like Fortunato's, you can shoot us a message. Otherwise, they have stuff ready to go off the shelf perfectly for your car, whether you just want to lower it, whether you want to do some spirited driving on the weekends. Maybe you're going to the next autocross or track event. Fortunato's got you covered with a million different options and some customizable options for you too. So thank you to Fortunato for being a sponsor of Martini Works podcast, and we'll talk to you guys on the next one.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Austin.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Have a great weekend.